Good morning. My name is Carissa Chilcote, and I will be going over your weather briefing today, July 6th. The biggest change is that Tropical Storm Chantal has now transitioned into a tropical depression as of 11 a.m. today. We still do have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall, which could lead to isolated flash flooding this afternoon through Tuesday, and a high risk of rip currents today in the Virginia and North Carolina beaches. So since the update just happened at 11 a.m., I have not updated this graphic, but it hasn't changed a whole lot. Where it said that it was going to transition into a depression here around the North and South Carolina border is about where the position of the storm is. And it is now a depression. It has weakened in winds, but the impact to our area still remains pretty much the same. We're still just expecting possible heavy rainfall, and that could lead to higher totals from today into Monday. And strong winds are not expected as those winds have died down as it turned into a depression. So along with the potential for high rainfall, this system is causing an elevated risk in rip currents. We do have those high rip risks out for the Virginia and North Carolina beaches today, moderate for our northern beaches, and they will continue to stay moderate tomorrow and Tuesday as well at all beaches. And we may end up wanting to upgrade the rip risk tomorrow to high down in the southern beaches. We're going to be taking another look at that this afternoon to see how the waves are going to be behaving. This is our reasonable worst case rainfall. We do not expect to get more than what this map is showing you, which is going to be the highest between 2 to 3 inches throughout really most of the area. The heaviest rainfall is actually expected to be over central and southern Virginia and northeast North Carolina. This map isn't super representative of the rainfall that we could expect in northeast North Carolina. And this is really all just going to depend on where the bands are going to set up both today and tomorrow as that low pressure moves over our area. And then we are expecting more rainfall later this week as the typical summer afternoon storms and showers pattern returns. So here's a look at that pattern as it's going to progress. We can see this is Tropical Depression Chantal right now over the Carolinas. It will be moving up over into Virginia tomorrow, and then we'll have this kind of slow moving front kind of help push it off to shore Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we will return with those afternoon showers and storms as that moisture from Chantal kind of lingers around the area after it gets moved offshore. As for heat risk, the big main takeaway from this page is that the heat risk is going to be the highest on Tuesday. We do have an elevated threat risk. This just means that we could see some heat indices up to 105. And we are closely monitoring the need for any heat advisories on Tuesday. It is possible. It seems like in the last couple of days, models have kind of trended towards heat indices up to 105. But we'll take a few more looks at it before we would need any headlines anyway. And so that's going to really be the warmest day over the next week. Here you can see that the moisture is still kind of not as present both today and kind of tomorrow, as we have cooler temperatures today and tomorrow and heat indices below triple digits. But then Tuesday, those temperatures are going to warm up, as well as having that tropical moisture is going to cause those triple digit dew points, heat indices to return. And then it's possible that we're going to be up in the upper 90s to lower triple digits for heat indices Wednesday, basically through the end of the week as well. As for our severe storm potential, we are expected mostly just general thunderstorms today and tomorrow. It's possible that we could see something down in Southern Virginia, Northeast North Carolina to become a little bit stronger. But we're not really expecting any, it would be extremely isolated if that were to happen. As of Tuesday, that's going to be after Chantal moves offshore and we'll just return back to that summer pattern. And we could see some more isolated strong to severe storms. And the main threat would be damaging winds. As for our excessive rainfall outlook, we could see some instances of isolated flash flooding with this system as Chantal's remnants move into the area, and then that low kind of gets pushed and sets over our area on Monday and then moves offshore. As for the actual rainfall amounts that we are currently expecting throughout the area, really up to an inch. There's could be a little bit more on the northern neck as the way that that low progresses is kind of going to sit over our area for a little bit. So the northern neck could get a few extra bands before it gets pushed offshore. And I'll show a simulated reflectivity from a model in just a second. And as for that timing, the afternoon is going to be when we could see those showers and storms. That's where the highest chance is going to be for the next few days. So here is, actually it'll be easier if I just pull over this to make sure you can see that. Yeah. Okay, wait, real quick, I wanted to throw in what's actually on the radar because the models are not picking up on this super well at the moment. The models were not showing any showers, Richmond, and just a few in the northern neck right now. But we do have some showers happening. If I just put this in a loop, we can see that it is kind of moving northwestern. And they're not severe, it is just some showers right now. Looking ahead to what's going to be happening. So this is what one of our models is showing. This model did kind of pick up on one of the bands starting to develop towards Richmond in the northern neck, but it's still not perfect. So let's see, this is about now. So those bands are going to be moving up north into the area, but it's mostly just going to be isolated as scattered. Now this is going to be this afternoon into tonight. This is 9 p.m. tonight. It starts to kind of become really more isolated in the overnight hours as we lose that daytime heating that would cause these storms to kind of pop extra with those bands from Chantal. But starting early Monday morning, this is 3 a.m., that low pressure system, which is actually going to be like right around the Virginia, North Carolina border, it starts moving up into that area. So we could see some more scattered showers and storms. And then as we get into Monday morning, that is going to kind of be mostly over like the central Virginia region. And then it'll kind of stall a little bit. So we could see some of those rain showers linger. And then most of the models are assuming that by Monday afternoon, most of that rain and showers from Chantal's remnants is going to be pushing offshore. But as you can see, it's kind of just going to depend on how fast that low pressure kind of moves out of the area and where those bands are going to set up. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what we're expecting and how it's going to progress. This slide is kind of just showing that we are expecting those, if there's going to be any storms with those showers, it's going to be in the afternoon just from the daytime heating, adding in some extra instability to really make those storms, allow them to develop enough to become storms rather than showers. This kind of just shows our accumulated precip. There's going to be more rain expected outside of Tropical Depression Chantal now at this point, and we're actually expecting more rain Wednesday to Friday as those afternoon showers and storms are going to be returning. Here's a look at the total precip for the next 7 days. So we could see locally up to 3 inches in some areas. As just a quick summary of all of that, temperatures are going to be mostly in the upper 80s to lower 90s, except for Tuesday, which is going to be the warmest. And pretty much every day for the next few days has some sort of rain chance. Switching gears a little bit to our marine, we are expecting small crafts advisories to be needed this afternoon and into tonight for the Bay and the southern coastal waters. Those are already set and will go into effect later today. And that's mostly for winds. Starting this afternoon, we do have some gusts between 20 to 25 knots. That's going to be out of the south-southeast. And then they're going to remain pretty elevated all throughout Monday. And then we start seeing small craft advisory conditions return Monday night and into the next couple of days, really into the midweek. Here's just another broader picture of the sustained versus the wind gusts. As for wave heights, we have increased what we are expecting for wave heights both today and tomorrow since yesterday. Wave heights are now expected to reach 5 foot down in the southern coastal waters as Chantal continues to move further up into that area. And so the small craft advisories will be reflected with that. And so that's really just going to be Sunday and Monday as well. And then seas will start to subside late Monday and Tuesday. So that concludes the live briefing for today. Thank you very much.